sticks and stones may break your bones. Words can make you feel alone, but you...
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today, for our mukbang, we're actually having breakfast from First Watch. And it's kind of backwards, but First Watch is where our breakfast is from. This is our special guest, Cinthia. And oh guys, she was the cutest. Like, isn't this really cute? Oh,
Her
How
seasonal.
sweet is she? Yeah. Well, I'll put it back. Okay. All right. So, what did you order from First Watch?
I got the classic eggs Benedict. It's one of my favorite.
Let's see.
It's just okay.
Show.
Just like a poached egg, and I think these are potatoes. I think. Oh, it's fruit.
It's fruit.
It's even healthier.
Healthy. Let's go. I showed like lift it up a little.
Okay. There you go. Oh gosh.
All right. That's her eggs
That's
Benedict.
mine.
And I get the same thing.
Ooh.
This is avocado toast and my egg fried hard. I'm not. I don't like runny eggs.
I'm the opposite.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna be a little fancy and actually put it on a dish.
Okay.
As opposed to leaving it in the container. So how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing really well. Just been working a lot.
All right, so
Okay.
so this is Cinthia, and today. Oh, so how do I know Cinthia? One of my former students. Very, 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 very smart.
Oh, thanks.
Always super driven. All right, look at this.
Ooh, mine looks so good.
This looks so good. So good. And I don't know if a lot of Cynthia's classmates were aware of, but Cinthia was adopted into a white family. She was born in Guatemala. And can you tell us a little bit about that?
So I was born in Guatemala. I was raised there for the first 6 years of my life.
I didn't know that.
And then it's a completely third world poverty, no running water, like no electricity. It's a pretty poor place. I never owned a pair of shoes until I was adopted.
Wow.
I never owned a pair of underwear. My parents had to teach me how to use those.
Wow. So you just ran around naked?
We had like shirts and stuff, like things we could find.
No, I mean like for the underwear. Like
I guess so, yeah. Because when my parents gave me my first pair of underwear, they a pack comes in like pack of 5 or something like that.
Yeah.
Every time I used the bathroom for the first day, I would change my underwear every single time.
Really?
So by the first day, my parents are like, I told my parents I ran out of underwear, and they're like, "Where's your stuff?" I'm like, I thought you had to throw them out.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That is crazy. So does that mean that when you were in Guatemala, like whatever you wore as underwear, you threw out?
In Guatemala, I didn't own any.
Oh, so you didn't.
It wasn't until I didn't know what to do with them.
Oh.
It was a new concept. I thought it was like toilet paper. You just throw them out.
But that's so weird that like, how old are you now?
25.
At 25, you still remember that?
Well, my mom actually recently told she's so embarrassing. She actually recently told somebody that. And then I was like, I remember being in the hotel with them because they had to come down and, get me and stuff. I remember being in the hotel with them and like them teaching me different things. So I remember a little bit.
Wow.
But I came here in 2000 with my parents, and they're both in the Army.
I didn't know that either. Sweet.
So I'm a military brat, is what they call it. And I lived in Alabama, Mobile, Alabama.
What?
Yeah, for 2 years, which is right on the beach, so it's not that bad. But it's a bunch of like old white people, and they're set in their ways. So like seeing me was a little different for them. And then my mom, I started getting an accent. I would say y'all. I still say y'all sometimes. She's like, we gotta get out of here. I know she was teasing, but she got stationed here in DC, so we all came here.
Okay.
So I've been here since 2002. And yeah.
So, like, do you actually know your birth parents? Like, what was their situation?
This one's like a little tough to talk about, but my mom.
So, who were you living with?
My mom. So it was me, my mom, and I had an older sister who was 5 years older than me.
Okay.
And I have one picture that I accidentally printed this picture out. It was me and my sister at the hotel the day that my parents came to like pick me up. And it was just me and her there. And I have a picture of the picture just in case it gets burned down. But she and I look so alike, even though she's 5 years older than me.
Oh man.
But my mom down there, she was a prostitute.
Okay. Oh wow.
So it's just me, my mom, and my sister living in Guatemala.
Do you look like her?
My mom? I have no idea.
Oh, so you don't have, you have never
I don't
seen
have
your
a
mom.
picture of her. I grew up with her my first 6 years, but I don't remember anything.
I mean, that's kind of common though. You know what I mean? Like, having a camera is a little bit of a luxury when you're trying to do other things with your money.
Right. The only reason I have a picture of my older sister.
Because you're American parents.
Right. They took a picture of us together.
Wow.
But I don't keep in touch with them. I tried to find them once and I couldn't find them, so I tried.
So do you know if it's just you and your sister?
No. Actually, there was one more.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
After you?
After me. So, it takes like a while for the adoption system to go through. So when I was being adopted, my mother was actually giving birth to somebody. And I had no idea. No one had any clue. And I think so she was a baby when she was born. I think it was like maybe 2 years after she was born and adopted by a single white mom in California. The mom reached out to my mom and was like, hey, like this is her sister. They would love to meet. I got your information through the adoption agency. And I actually met her when I think I was 10.
Wait. Let me get this right.
Yeah.
So your baby sister's mother reached out to you?
To my mom.
Oh, to your mom.
To my mom through like the adoption agency.
Okay, let's pause.
Yeah.
So how did all that? Like, did your mom go to an adoption agency in Guatemala?
Yeah.
To give you guys up? To adopt you out, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So this is another like hard thing to talk about.
Did she? All three of you, or just the last two?
Just the last two. So we had me, my mom, and my older sister had something really traumatic happen to all of us. Again, it's a third world country. Violence is a big thing. Like there's no police system, nothing like that. So, and I still remember this, but my older sister, again, she was 10, and that's old enough to make money, to work. I don't know if it's like in prostitution or it's like selling things at a market, something like that.
Yeah.
And I was only 5, so I think I'm assuming from what I know, it's that my mom wanted to give me a better life because I'm young enough to be adopted at that age, but my older sister is not. So, and I think that's why she also gave up my baby sister.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Your poor sister.
Yeah, they've been through a lot. So, but yeah, that's how I got to know my little sister. I still remember my older sister. And I'm actually going to go see my younger sister in August. Yeah, we're going to meet again.
How dope is that?
Yeah.
How old is she?
Oh gosh, so she's 5 years, 6 years younger than me.
Oh wow.
So yeah, she must be like 19, 20. Yeah. So, I'm excited.
Have you found your older sister? Has your baby sister found your older sister?
No.
Yeah, so you're actually gonna go to Cali to see your sister?
I am.
What's her name?
Gaia.
Gaia? What does that mean?
I think it means like Mother Earth.
Oh, yes.
And my name is Cinthia, and it means daughter of the moon.
What?
And Yoshua, my other sister's name is Yoshua. It's something religious too, I'm sure.
Wow. So your mom, even through all that stuff, your mom still had a strong faith.
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, who named you guys?
That's true.
Your mom,
Yeah,
right?
my mom, yeah.
So Cynthia is your birth name.
It's my birth name.
Yeah.
Must be then.
What? That is crazy.
I know.
Do you know what it was like for her growing up? Like with
My mom?
Yeah, with her parents.
No, I have no idea.
Okay.
No.
It has to be somewhat like off because
Well, everything there is off. Everything.
I mean, have you been there since?
No, but it's still like really dangerous to go down there and stuff.
Yeah, I don't want any Guatemalans to feel any type of
Yeah, no. It's a beautiful country. Go look at the pyramids.
But I'm sure since you were there in 2002, no, 2000.
2000, yeah.
I'm sure since you were there in 2000, things have changed to some degree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know. So you don't even know your grandparents / her parents?
I don't know anybody.
Your poor. My heart goes out to your sister, the one that was like still there to like do work.
I know. My thing is, it kind of stinks for her because they brought her to the hotel to say bye, so she saw that like luxury life.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Being in a hotel with a pool, with like a buffet. Like we've never had that. We had to steal to eat, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm sure being there was like a glimpse of what she could have had.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, you're going back now.
Especially at 10, like you're definitely like, why aren't you taking me?
Mm-hmm.
Why? You know what makes her so special?
Right.
Oh man. Let's say a little prayer for her.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully she's all right. You know
I hope.
And because you know it's funny because you know every summer I always travel to a Latin American country. I haven't done that in the last couple of years or whatever. But like I do remember seeing a lot of younger kids at the mercado. Some were going to school, but a lot of them were selling
stuff. Yep. They work young.
Yeah, it's like, dude, you're like 7.
And that's normal though.
You know what I mean? It's like you know you guys don't even, you know, you're not even giving them a chance. I don't know, like how do you decide who goes to school and who works?
I'm not sure.
No, I mean it's like a rhetorical question. Like,
oh,
as
I know.
a parent, like how do you decide which child, like, oh, this is the smarter child, you go to school.
Right.
Let's grab these, you know, fruits or trinkets or whatever, and then we're gonna be on the side of the street, like selling
stuff. Yeah.
All right. So, what was it like having white parents? Like, in terms of like going to school, like were the kids looking at you like y'all don't look alike?
Yeah.
Were kids pointing out your differences? Like, did you have an accent? Were you teased for your accent? Like, how did you learn English? Like, all of those.
Okay, let's start with the English one because that was hard. So I didn't speak Spanish and I didn't speak English. I spoke like a native tongue that down there. So when I was being adopted, again, it takes like a while to be adopted, like a whole year or something. So during that time, they teach you like the basics: how to use a fork, how to use a knife, how to use the bathroom, and I was learning how to speak Spanish through the agency. And then when I got here, I had to learn English to read, write, and speak English, and then to read and write Spanish at the same time. And it was like the toughest thing in the world.
So are you like a Native American in Guatemala? Like,
yeah, so I'm technically Mayan. That's why I'm so short. I am so short, and why I have like the dark skin and the dark hair and all that. Yeah, because I came from a village like by the mountains.
How dope is that? Like that right there.
I
Like,
know.
your history and textbooks that I
I
learned
know.
about. You know what I mean? Like strong, powerful people. Don't ever forget that.
Very smart.
You know what I'm saying? Don't ever forget that. Like, how dope is that?
It is pretty awesome.
From both parents that you know of?
I'm assuming.
Most likely because it's, you know, you lived in a village. Oh, that is so dope. Alright, so when you got to America, like what was that like?
It was a little strange. It was definitely different because again, I landed in Mobile, Alabama. All you saw was like white old people.
Was that your first, outside of like your adopted parents, was that your first time like seeing lighter toned people? Because
yeah, because I mean, even in Guatemala City, where I was like put in the hotel with my parents, like we had to stay there for a little bit. It's not a lot of white people. It's still, you know, I see my color, I see everything going on. Yeah, you see tourists, but it's a little different.
Yeah.
And then coming here, I was like, whoa, I'm the only colored person right now.
Wow. Did you cry to go back home? Like, what was that like?
I think
Because of the change.
not because of the change. I like adventure. I've always been like, what's next? What can I see? I think I missed my sister and my mom.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The most. I remember like a couple birthdays asking to like go see my sister, and like there's nothing they can do, you know. But eventually, I think I got over that. But I liked being here. I think something that people forget is that.
And you're an only child.
I'm an only child, yeah.
That helps.
So that also helps. I pretty much get everything.
Yeah.
But I like being here. What you forget is that when you don't have anything,
Yeah.
and then you have everything you could want, it was pretty.
Yeah. Well, you can keep talking.
When you have when you have nothing and go to everything,
Yeah.
you don't want to go back to nothing.
Yep.
You don't want to go back to being hungry and not having clothes. That's not fun.
Yeah.
So I love being here.
And you're an only child, getting whatever
Yeah.
you want. Not necessarily like material things, but like attention. You know what I mean? As a kid, that's so important.
Yeah.
To feel loved.
Yeah, especially I think because in Guatemala, like that was not a thing. It was we gotta work, we gotta do stuff. I never went to school there. You know, it was a rush. It was a lot, but
This says believe, guys.
it's perfect
So
for you.
Yeah. This is so friggin'. I feel so blessed to have this.
Really?
Oh my goodness, guys, guess what?
What?
We forgot to pray. So those of you that don't know, I pray every meal. But we're vibing in the conversation. Got to pray. So we're just gonna say a silent prayer.
Okay.
Unless you want to say it out loud. It's up to you.
No, that's it.
I'll say a silent prayer and then we'll continue the conversation. Sorry.
Okay.
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah. So like, how were the kids?
They were interesting.
Did you go to school in Alabama?
Yes, I went
Okay.
to a Montessori school.
Okay.
And that they're all about like nourishing and like all that stuff.
Discovery.
Like
Self-play.
yeah, exactly. So that was I think I was like the boss in that little area because I was like, yeah, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. But that one again, it was a really white community, so I don't think I noticed race then. I think I was just like excited to be there, excited to see everything. I don't think I noticed race until elementary school.
Really? Was it because someone said something to you?
I don't know. I think it's because we were taking pictures one time and they had to change the background for me because it was like pretty like pale.
You're lying.
Yeah, it was like pale. So I don't know. I don't think I noticed it that much. And then also like taking pictures with my parents. So I did like I did ballet and stuff. And at recitals, you know, you got to take pictures with your parents. And it would be like super white mom. My dad has dark black hair, so he's still pale. But we're still kind of like that. But then I'm tan, so it's like I definitely notice it then.
That's different. It's funny you say that because when growing up in South America myself, like I don't really think I remember race being young. And I didn't realize that I was black until I came to America. And people made things more obvious. Like, you know, when you're young, even so, like when you're young, you don't really like realize like.
It's almost innocent.
Yeah, it's so innocent until someone's like hey,
Yeah.
that person's different. And you're like,
How?
oh, they are different. Like, oh, we're not. Because, like, if you, place an example, one of my really good friends, her son, myself, we went to Noodles and Company, and this random white boy comes up to her black son, and they're having a conversation, and they're chasing each other, and they're playing.
They have
Kids
no
don't
clue.
care.
Yeah, they have no clue.
It's not until society or some adult makes it obvious that you guys are different, then that's where the problems are created. So
Right.
I'm not surprised initially that you didn't notice it until it was like obvious. 'Cause I know, you know, coming here, I'm like, oh, I'm black, and I just didn't know what I don't know. I just at that age, because I was so young, I came here when I was 8. I wasn't thinking about like that was not my priority. My priority was like going to school and playing. Like that was it. Like being with my friends and having a good time. Like, you know, like my race did not matter from.
For anything.
For anything.
Really
Like
didn't.
no one's like, oh, let the black girls do it. Like no one cared. And we had blacks, we had mixed with black and Indian. We had Indians, and then we had people who migrated from Portugal. So you would see, I had one friend named Sasha. I don't know how she's doing, but she was really, really light with blonde hair. But I still didn't process that she was different. I just knew she was lighter and she had blonde hair. And
it wasn't a race thing.
Yeah, I didn't even care. Like, oh, she's white. You know what I mean? So the only come into America then just when you have to pick a side. It's when it's like you're this or you're this,
right?
Or people make you feel different because you look different.
That's true.
If that makes sense. But I think because this was so long ago, I think kids early on now are aware that they're different.
I definitely think so,
depending
but it's because
on
of
location.
Their family saying something or classmates saying something. But I think kids are still like super innocent.
They are.
Until you put your opinion on them.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Like you're a kid, you don't care. Like, so what? She's black. That's my friend.
Right. That's what they say. Yeah.
Like, that's my friend. Like,
it's true.
Let's go play. Like, kids want to play and just be kids, but then adults impose their opinion.
Right.
Their opinions on different things, whether it's politics or race or different things like that. And then it's like, then you have then they're more conscious of I don't know, whatever.
My biggest thing is when an older family member puts their opinion on a child, but like a negative opinion. So then that child grows up.
Seed.
Yeah. It's like that seed being planted, and then the child grows up like that. And it's like a whole cycle, because then they do it to their kid, and it's a vicious cycle.
It is. So, how was middle school?
I'm trying to think. I don't think middle school was too bad. I was always getting into trouble.
Really?
Like
Why
always. I think the transition period of what I had to do in Guatemala to survive. Like I said, I would always steal food in Guatemala. Like I would eat like every other day, and I would like eat a tortilla. But I had to go to the bakery. My sister and I had to like go steal a tortilla and then like run back home and eat it. So coming here, you're not supposed to do that. And I think it took me a while to realize that. Even for my mom, like she would make like casseroles or something, and I would take the casserole. I'd go out at night, take the casserole, and put it under my bed just in case I ever got hungry.
Wow.
Because I don't like that feeling of being hungry. So I would also do that at school.
What?
I would like someone have like a peanut butter sandwich, and I would like go up there and like take their peanut butter sandwich and like hide it in the books or something, somewhere I thought no one would find it, just in case I got hungry. So like mentally, the stuff from Guatemala was still with me. So I was always getting in trouble. Like they were like, "You're not supposed to steal." I'm like, "Okay, I won't," but it's still there. So it took me a while to get used to like transitioning, and I had amazing teachers.
Did your parents feel the need to put you in counseling? I feel like counseling would have helped.
I think counseling would have been amazing, but my parents, I don't know if it's a military thing, I don't know what it is, but they don't believe in counseling. They don't believe in like airing dirty laundry. It's like what they think is dirty laundry. But it's like it would have helped me a lot. And I remember like when I was in second grade, that was the first time I went to like an actual school. And it was a private, all white, pretty much all white school. There was like 2 black kids. My best friend's black, she was from there. But the counselor would bring me in and be like, why are you doing this? And that's when I like first met a counselor.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh, you guys are pretty awesome. Like I get to tell you things, like I can express myself and like not be ashamed. They would just like try to help me.
Yeah.
So I think throughout middle school, even high school, you know, counselors were always there to help me in whatever way. If I was, you know, getting out of hand, they'd be like, hey, like, get it together. But I wish my parents would have like actually done like, I guess it's still professional counseling, but they would have been open to it.
Yeah.
So I know like if I have a kid and stuff, and they want counseling or they need it, go for it.
Why not?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what is the stigma in the minority community about counseling, whether, you know, it's the Hispanic community or the African American community. Like,
I'm not sure.
it's really weird because it's like
There is a stigma though.
The HIPAA law prevents people from sharing your information. So it's not like I'm gonna get all this stuff about you and I'm like, oh, by the way, blah blah blah. Like legally they cannot do that, and they can get sued.
I don't think people know that.
Yeah.
I think if they come from a different country, anything that's a law down there can be changed and like moved around, or so I think they come from a place where law isn't law in their country. So like when they come here, they're still
like in that.
suspicious.
But I'm talking about the Americans that live here.
Oh, I don't know why.
You know what I mean? Like there's so many opportunities, there's so many resources for American-born individuals and people that are from here that, you know, some don't take, you know, advantage of that. You know what I mean? And being an immigrant myself and you being an immigrant yourself, like we can see that. It's like, yo, like y'all have so much. There's so many countries that don't even have, you know, a third of what Americans have, and still people don't take advantage of that. And it's just, you know, and it to the detriment of your child, because sometimes these kids have gone through so much. Like you've gone through trauma and you pass that down to your child, you know, and it's just like it would be beneficial for you to actually seek professional help for yourself. Fix yourself first, right? And then definitely also try to help your child. But it's just like, all right, the attitude is like, I dealt with it, but like, you know, what vices did you pick up and do? You know, and then you're putting that on your child, and then the cycle just continues, and you can't understand why your child is doing all these, all these different things. But it's like, you know, all this trauma that they're hiding and things that you projected on them that they're not able to handle, and they can't even talk to you about it. So it manifests in different things. So like what were some of the manifestations of things that you've gone through, like in terms of your relationship with your peers and relationships with guys that you've dated? And she can kind of link to the fact that you were adopted, you know, from an interesting situation. You know what I mean? Do you have
the biggest
attachment issues?
That's my biggest one. I remember my last relationship.
Since high school.
I remember my last relationship. I'd be like, okay, what are we doing? And it'd be like 7 a.m. and from like 7 a.m. to like midnight, we would not be apart. And it wasn't until I dated someone recently that did that to me.
You didn't like it.
And I was like, go do your own thing. Yeah, do your own thing. I got my own thing. I've become really independent since then. So I'm like, go do your own thing. Like, I got my own thing going on. But yeah, attachment was like the biggest one.
I figured.
It was the biggest one, from friendships to family to boyfriends and everything. That was definitely the biggest one.
And that's projection. You know, you projected like you don't want them to leave you, so you felt the need to just clock them every time. But
all the time.
Some people are okay with that.
Yeah, it's just unhealthy for you, you yourself.
Absolutely.
Like you start like becoming them. It's like you forget about yourself. I forgot what I liked, and that was not right. I had to like relearn different things that I like to do. Like I like playing soccer. I stopped playing soccer for like 5 years.
For the last one, not this one, but the last one.
Yeah.
The one that I know.
The one that you know. Yeah. I stopped like doing everything that I liked, And I was like, oh, I like what he likes. Yeah, I definitely do. And then when we broke up, I was like, wait. I don't like what he likes. I like doing my own stuff. So that was definitely eye-opening when someone did that to me, but then seeing that I have that issue.
So are you in counseling for something like that? Like,
I was.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it took me. This food was actually really good too.
How was your?
It was really good. It's really hard to cut though, so I'm trying to eat like little pieces at a
Yeah,
time.
that bread looks a little tough.
Yeah, I think they chose the wrong bread.
I didn't know it came on bread.
Yeah, it usually comes on English muffin.
Oh.
So this is like a ciabatta, so and they toasted
yeah.
it too, so it's like cutting a little bit.
See, I don't. Stuff like this. Is that ham on there?
Yeah, it's like ham, bacon, tomato, and a poached egg.
See, I don't eat seafood. I don't eat beef. I don't eat ham.
Pork?
No pork.
No pork.
No
That's
pork
what
products.
That's what I thought.
Just chicken. I'm a chickenitarian. And some, I don't even really like that too often. Like I definitely go more of the vegetarian. I can't say vegan because I'm gonna eat an egg. Right, but I definitely go more of the vegetarian route if
you
presented a choice.
Oh.
So guys, you're gonna see a lot of chicken options or vegan options. I don't know.
That's healthier, I guess. That's a healthy thing.
It's not even like a health thing. It's just like a preference thing. Like,
right.
Growing up, I didn't eat that, so I don't feel the need to like.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I developed an allergies. The fact that my body's not accustomed to
it. Like resistant to it.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm alright. I'm all set.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Definitely the first 2 years I did go to therapy. It was mostly like after this breakup. This breakup was like a big deal because it like made me realize a lot of things that I had issues with. So I started to realize first, like, love yourself. If you don't love yourself, you cannot love anybody else. And then like a whole dependency thing. How to relearn what I like to do, what I enjoy. So that's why I went to therapy. But it was definitely like eye-opening. And of course it goes all back to the root of being adopted and knowing you had a mom and a sister and then you don't have them anymore, so you have a new family. And I know my mom didn't leave me, but it's like sometimes it's easy to think that.
Did you hate her?
At some point? At first, yeah. I remember, again, my birthdays were a big deal. I love my birthdays. But I would cry sometimes because I'd be like, why did you leave me? Like, why? And I always thought, it would be my fault. Like, I'm not good enough. But then I have to remember that that's not a good place to be at the time. So my life is so much better here. You know what? Also, a lot of people, I work in clinics, and a lot of people always ask me, I speak Spanish. I'm usually the only one that speaks Spanish in clinics.
First of all, they're going to assume you speak Spanish.
Because, I look,
this beautiful tan she has.
Yeah, obviously I look very Latina, so the Latinos do come to me, and when they have questions, they want someone that looks like them so they can trust them.
Representation is very important.
Yes. Get more Latinos in clinics.
Plug.
But yeah, it's true. It's so easy to find a job when you speak Spanish. But Latinos always ask me like, oh, why don't you want to know your family? Why don't you try? Like, why don't... It's almost like they think they know my life.
Yeah.
And they're like, you should try. They love you very much. You should go back and try. And it's hard because why do I want to go back to a place? I do want to know my mom and my sister, but like, why do I want to go back?
You don't want to know your daddy?
I don't know. I don't think. Maybe. I don't know.
Listen.
I remember my mom and my sister being in my life. I don't remember my dad.
No, but in terms of your father, like genes. You know what I mean? Like, you need to know what. Not. It may not be in terms of like relationship wise. Like, if you're okay not having a relationship with him, I would never force that.
You mean like health? Like,
like health issues.
I do want to know that. I do want to know like what I'm susceptible to.
Yes.
I'm 4'11", so I'm really, really short. And because I'm petite, like
almost a little person.
Almost, but it's 410.
It's a 9.
An inch. The inch is the difference. But because I'm so short, like a grain of rice, I like blow up 30 pounds. So I know I'm like susceptible to like obesity, like heart failure because of it. But that's all I know. Like I don't know if we have any kind of cancers, any kind of history of high cholesterol. Like I have no idea.
Or mental illness.
Hope not. But like health-wise, I would love to know, especially since I'm in the health field. I would love to know what could possibly come up.
Yeah, that makes sense. Seriously.
I know. That's definitely something I would be interested in. But
I'm sure your mom worries about you. You cannot not. You know what I mean? Like,
family's big down there,
how
too.
old was she?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know anything about them.
I'm sure she was pretty young when she had you guys.
I'm sure, yeah.
You know what I mean? In terms of like the village, like, there's no like, let's wait till or whatever to have a baby. It's like, you know what, just get married young. You know, and that's just how.
Marriage and contraceptions are not big in like small villages. So
stuff just like, you know what I mean?
Keeps going.
So I'm sure it was hard for her, but you know what I mean? Like, I hope you think about how much she loved you enough to not keep you in that situation. I think a lot of individuals who are adopted, they're just so angry, but it's like, you think, I mean, as an adult, like as a kid, like as a child,
it's confusing.
It's confusing, and it's like, okay, like you didn't want me, so you let me go. But as an adult, like, focus on the fact that they loved you enough to want to give you to somebody else, hoping they would do, do you right, do what's best for you, because you do have some students, you do have people who are adopted into like disgusting situations. And then, the birth parents don't know, like, hey, you just gave your kid up to
another horrible
situation. You know what I mean? So let's thank God for her having the courage to let you go, and B, for you being adopted into a situation that is a blessing to you and your growth and your maturity. And the thing about it is, it's expensive. Kids are expensive.
Adoption is so
that little school that she went to, that where we met, every year you're paying tuition, and then you're paying for her books, you're paying for her uniform, the dances, and those little things, like, in the moment, like
the sport.
Yeah, kids don't even think about the amount of money that parents invest into
Oh my gosh. It wasn't until recently, like when I got my own place.
When you start spending your own money.
I'm like, oh, do I need another soccer ball and more cleats? It's like, it's expensive.
That's expensive.
So much. But yeah, that's something I always had to remind myself, that if it wasn't for my mom, I would not be here. I would not have all the opportunities I've had. And it's been pretty amazing so far, you know? I mean, there's been like some turbulence, but if it were not for her, I would have not seen anything. I'm very lucky. I know I'm very lucky.
And if it wasn't for your mom, like, we wouldn't have met.
Yeah, we would never have met. I remember that. I think one of the biggest things that I'm thankful for with my adoption is definitely my opportunity to give back. Because it humbles you going back to, a lot of people, a lot of my friends are, Caucasian, they travel a lot, they got money. But they go and travel to nice places. They go to Spain and Greece and like the beautiful places, which there are very beautiful places in Latin and South America, but I've always traveled to Central or South America. Always, because that is where I came from. And I also travel not just to the pretty places there, but also to the slums and to like the villages. And any trip I go to, I make sure I bring something I can give to the children, whether it's like coloring pencils, things they don't have, and that's my biggest thing. I love giving back. If I can do anything, it would be to change that. To give them like a little bit of joy and happiness in their life.
Do you know the village that you came from?
Yeah, off of a town of it's called Escuintla. It's south, real south near the border. It's in the mountains.
The border where?
Of El Salvador.
Oh, okay.
Is it El Salvador or Honduras? Somewhere down there.
Oh,
Actually, I think it is El Salvador.
Okay.
Because it's down near the Pacific Ocean and the border. But it's in the mountains.
You think you'd ever want to travel there?
Maybe. Maybe in a couple of years. We'll see.
You and your sister? You and your baby sister?
I would actually do that with her if she's interested. I actually never talked to her and asked her about the adoption. And,
Really? Why is that?
well, we don't really like talk that much. You know, we're on Instagram together and we'll text every now and then, but I'm never like, hey, what's up? How's your day? Kind of thing. It's kind of like I know this person's there. I know she's my sister. But I'm hoping this trip in August would make us like become closer and like, you know, we get down to talking and stuff.
And she looks like you?
Yeah. She's taller than me. For some reason, she's like 5'6", which is not fair. She's into anime. We have the same dimple. Like I have one dimple somewhere. Like I think it's on my left cheek. She has the same one dimple.
Wow.
She looks just like me. She's into anime and she's like pretty edgy. But she, like half her hair is bright purple and the other half is like blue. So she's got her own thing going.
Is she an only child?
Yeah, she's an only child. And she likes animals just like me.
Oh.
She has like 7 dogs that she rescues and like stuff like that.
So maybe you guys got that from your mom.
We must something. I don't know what else she's into. Definitely not the anime. I'm not. I'd rather be outside doing something. But yeah.
Cinthia, sister, if you're watching this, there's nothing wrong with anime.
Nothing wrong with my best friend loves anime. I'm just like, you do you.
This is my breakfast, guys.
Oh, you did eat all of it.
Yeah, it was delicious. It was 2 slices of toast
It's true.
with
That's
avocado powder on top. And
I'm
an
a
egg.
really slow eater. Like really slow.
I think you're supposed to because it helps with digestion. That's what my dad said.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know. All right, so normally I have a dessert at the end, but we're actually having breakfast. Oh, by the way, the DMV area is the best place to have brunch. We have a plethora of restaurants and deliciousness. So, you know, as we continue the mukbangs, you guys will see a lot more. So far we've done Sardi's, and then today we have First Watch, and then I have a lot more restaurants for you guys to check out if you're in town. All right, so because I don't have any dessert because it's brunch / breakfast, and I usually do dinner with brunch things. So today you like mangoes?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna eat mangoes.
Oh. Okay, you know how to eat mangoes though? The proper way to eat mangoes?
How do you eat a mango?
So you know you cut off the skin, blah blah blah. You slice it up, put so much lime juice on it, just extra lime juice, lots of salt, probably a really unhealthy amount of salt. And then you put this, like, it's a spice, but you can use like red peppers or cayenne pepper. That's how you eat mango. So good. Yeah.
Alright guys, so now I'm gonna peel my mango. I'm gonna give her the peeler afterwards.
I should probably do it with a knife.
But you don't want to take all the skin off. I mean, take the flesh off.
Yeah.
Too much of the flesh
That's
off.
not the right knife.
Yeah.
It's the right knife.
I'm almost done.
Take your time.
Alright, so as we're peeling, alright, so what advice do you have for young people and even adults who have been adopted into whatever situation? Like, what helped you? Did you think that would be beneficial to them?
Honestly, I think it's having somebody you can talk to, whether it's a counselor.
So what if you have trust issues? Like, how do you?
If you have trust issues?
Yeah.
That's hard because I don't have trust issues.
Yeah.
I'm willing to trust. I trust a lot of people, but usually the people that are if you're in school, like the people that are in school, Like the counselors at school are really helpful. I know I came to you a lot, like during high school, and talked to you because I trusted you. But it's being willing to accept help from different people. And you can't, if you're really angry about being adopted, or if you're upset, if it's sad, or you don't understand, like let's say you're mean to your adopted brothers or sisters, you're mean to your parents, or you just always angry and you got attitude all the time, there's a reason for that. And you need to dig deep, talk to yourself, figure out what the reason is, and see if you can connect with somebody else that can help you on that level. And I think people don't realize that they just go, they almost like a pity party. They like throw themselves a pity party for years. And I don't want to say like that's wrong, because that's how they grieve, or that's how they cope. But it doesn't help anybody. It makes you more angry and makes you have these feelings longer. So I would say find somebody that you can connect with, whether it's a teacher, a guidance counselor, or talk to your parents. Go to an actual counselor, saying, "Hey, I'm feeling real angry. I'm feeling really upset. I'm feeling real, whatever feeling you have. And if you want help, that's what you're asking for. You want someone to talk to about these feelings." So that would be my biggest thing, because I had counselors, guidance counselors, friends, people I could talk to and trust. Reaching out is the biggest thing. You have to reach out to people. You can't keep it bottled in, or you're just gonna explode. You're gonna do things that are unnecessary. You're gonna start fighting people. You're gonna get violent. You're gonna do dumb things that you should not be doing.
So self-advocate, essentially.
That's exactly what it is. Okay, it should not take me this long to peel a mango. I'm like a professional at this point. But that's my biggest.
Now guys, thanks Cynthia for taking time out of her busy schedule to interview.
Thanks guys.
And I'll have her back. I'll have her back and we can talk about something else.
Yeah, of course.
If you don't mind.
Of course.
Alright.
Bye. Oh, let me not wave. Hi, bye. Waving my knife around.
And what is she still doing? Cutting that mango.
It's real slippery. Usually I'm okay, let me stand up. I'm still the same.
You guys see how short?
Alright. It's still the same height.
Alright, so we're both gonna stand up. You ready?
Okay. Ready?
That
is so sad.
That is so crazy.
It's not my fault.
Alright guys, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share.